Yours looks fine. Mine just looks miraculous. I look like I could get in a fight with a hood girl right now.
Yeah, I don't think you should do that.
I don't want to because they would pull my hair, but
Blunts!
alright, y'all. What's good? I'm Stevie.
I'm Savannah.
It's Wednesday. We're doing another Worldwide Wednesday, finding the craziest stories, fucking scary stories, whatever we can find scrounging up shit while we lay in bed on a Wednesday. So, we got a couple stories for you, and I kind of got scary ones. I don't know what she's going with, but she's going to go ahead and start it off.
I'm not doing a scary story today.
I'm doing 2 scary stories.
I'm not.
I want people to have nightmares like I do.
This comes from.
I just gave you the intro, bro.
Wait, no, I know. Hold on.
Butterscotch 47, whatever you said.
87.
There it is. Thank you for correcting me.
03.
Butterscotch 8703. And I'm dyslexic, so that's impressive.
r/am I the asshole on Reddit.
Yeah, most of the time you are. But it's okay. Go ahead. Read it.
Am I the asshole for asking my sister-in-law if she wanted to kill my son just to prove she could get him to not have an allergic reaction in a specific restaurant?
You took pride in the fact that she could protect that man from his allergies.
This is so bad.
All right. Break it down. What happened?
I, male 33, am a stay-at-home dad.
Shout out to that guy.
Yes,
Hold
definitely.
it down. My dream job.
One day. My wife and I have 3 children. Cal, 7, Tilly, who's 4, and Ro, who's 18 months.
Sorry for a second. I thought you said Kyle and then 7, like his second child's name was 7.
No, he's
And
7
I thought that
years
was
old.
really dope.
No.
Sorry, keep going.
But yeah, the youngest is Ro, 18 months. Cal is close in age to 2 of his cousins, aka the sister-in-law's kids. One is in the same grade and class at school as him, and the other is just a year old. Sister-in-law typically takes her kids out to eat after school on Fridays, and she takes them window shopping and to an arcade. Sounds fun.
Not bad. Good afternoon.
My wife and I let him go one time at the time my sister-in-law said she didn't really know where they'd go to eat. We asked her to avoid the specific restaurant for Cal's sake. He has nut allergies and has different levels of reactions depending on his closeness to them. I feel like that.
Yeah, peanut allergies especially. I feel like a lot of people die because of peanut allergies.
This particular restaurant uses nuts in basically everything and uses a lot of nut oils when cooking. We went there as a family a little over a year ago for the first time after being told they took allergies very seriously and had substitutions and very good standards for keeping allergens away from meals when needed. But the exposure while we were there still caused a reaction, and we left without eating because it wasn't worth it.
Okay, what kind of reaction? I want to know how mild or how crazy it was, you know? Because if it was just like, oh man, he got a rash.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
You know?
We explained this to her, but she still took them there and said she was extra careful, but he ended up being sick while there as a result of the allergy. It wasn't anaphylaxis, but it angered both my wife and myself. Sister-in-law apologized and said she truly didn't see it being a big issue. My wife told her sister we had already explained we'd gone there and he had a reaction. Sister-in-law said she figured she could take extra precautions, and my wife told her sister she should have accepted the fact that we didn't want him there and found somewhere else or just not taken him. Turns out sister-in-law and her kids always go to this restaurant. They know it'll happen even though she asked about 4 or 5 other places nearby. Which is why I don't want my son to join them on Fridays for their Friday expedition. Sister-in-law told me she wants to start taking Cal again, and her kids would love it since they're all so close in age. It makes sense. I told her I couldn't allow it because I know where she takes them to eat and it's not safe for Cal. Sister-in-law argued that they could end up somewhere else, and she learned her lesson. I asked if that meant 100% she wouldn't go to that restaurant or order food from there. She said she didn't have to. I told her that wasn't a definitive confirmation. She talked to my wife about it, and my wife agreed with me. Sister-in-law said we're denying the kids precious cousin time, and Cal would be well taken care of. We said the safety of our son is number one. Sister-in-law said I didn't give her a second chance to prove she had learned, and I told her she thought she had learned how to avoid it last time too. I said we don't have a lot of rules for taking our kids, but the healthy and safety aspect is something I don't ignore.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially peanut allergy.
Yeah, this poor kid. I just feel bad. He's just been tossed around a little.
Yeah.
I told her she could have always taken him for the window shopping and arcade and dropped him home if she wanted time, but safely, and she said she would feel like a monster leaving him out of the meal, and she would figure out a way to make everyone safe and happy. I told her I didn't trust her to avoid that place, and she wasn't winning my trust on that with anything. I asked her if she wanted to kill Cal just to prove she could take him there without a reaction while we can't. She called me a bastard and said I was making it sound significantly worse than it is, that all she wanted to do was include him, and she was willing to find a way. She said I was basically calling her an evil monster and it wasn't fair. She tried to complain to my wife about what I said, but my wife backed me up and told her she wasn't reassuring us well, and she had the same concerns. Sister-in-law complained to her husband next, and he told me I went too far, saying she wanted to kill Cal was unfair. Maybe it was, but since she ignored the concerns we had and the past 2 incidents at the restaurant, I can't stop wondering how serious she is. Am I the asshole?
I can see it from both sides, because the sister-in-law, you should know that the peanut reaction is gonna happen. There's no dummy of being like, oh, I can't take him somewhere else. You should already know that that restaurant is off limits if you have Cal with you. Like, there's no reason you should be going there. But she kind of is an asshole. You don't gotta say it like that. You know what I mean? Not intentionally trying to kill your kid just to show you she's better at taking care of a kid. Like, that's a little far. It's a little far.
No, and it definitely is.
I think they're both owed an apology.
Yeah, they're both dickheads.
I would say the sister-in-law a little bit more, because she put that kid at risk.
Yeah, she definitely didn't have to do that.
And
That
you know
was
she don't have
a
that
little
medicine.
extra.
You know she don't have the medicine on her.
She's a weirdo. He's a weirdo.
They're both kind of asshole-ish.
Yeah.
Most of us are, but like, I'm on a different level. I want some spooky shit. It's late right now. This is gonna be dropped early, but it is late. I'm trying to give her nightmares.
It'll probably work.
All right, so I got this from Reddit Ghost Stories. Lady Hawk 97. And she shouted out Butterscotch 84. I had to shout out Lady Hawk. But My son claims to see the lady from the stairs in his room. Oh, shit. I'm a single mom of two, soon to be 3-year-old boy. We live in a 2-bedroom basement apartment, and sometimes things feel off. A few months ago, I woke up around 1 a.m. to banging in the storage room, and since the cat did not seem scared, I thought I might be sleeping. So 2 minutes after it stopped, my son came running in. A few weeks ago, my son stopped wanting to go to bed, complaining that there is a boo-boo, quote unquote, in his room. I was watching ghost stories on my phone in the bedroom while he was watching television in a different room. So I just assumed that he overheard my story. He is a very smart child. I also let him watch The Nightmare Before Christmas at Halloween, and he loved it. I probably should not have let him watch this, and won't again. He is until he's much older. Bullshit. Bubba loves that shit. The boy is like.
That's true. That's my 3.5-year-old kid, by the way.
Nightmare Before Christmas can be watched. It's okay. He loves that shit.
It's literally his favorite movie.
I assumed that my child had an active imagination as they do at this age. So I just put him back to bed and told him that there is no boo-boo. Till a couple nights ago, he stood at my bedroom door, and when I asked him to go back to bed, he started jumping up and down, as 2-year-olds do. Then he told me that the lady from the stairs was in his room and wanted to sleep in bed with him. Is this something I should take seriously? He has not mentioned her since, and I don't bring her up, but he did mention Boo Boo last night. I was holding him and sitting in his bed, and he pointed to the door, saying something about Boo Boo. Is this just imagination, or should I do something? Move the fuck out of that apartment. Them kids are most
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say. Susceptible to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Spirits can reach fucking kids, and kids will see some shit. Like, if I didn't know that house was not haunted, like, for maybe, I don't know. Because when he was pointing to saying monster, that shit scared me too. Because I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Kids
no,
have
that
a
was
sixth sense
terrifying.
for that shit.
No, and he did it again like a couple weeks ago.
At the house?
Yeah.
Terrifying.
In the same hallway too.
You know what's crazy? We ain't moving.
We can't.
That's why we just smoke the Holy Spirits, you know what I mean?
We try to befriend them the best we can. Try to befriend.
As long as I'm just chilling, you know what I mean? I don't want no beef with them. They don't want no beef with us. As long as you ain't scared of them, they can't hurt you. Hopefully.
You
know?
just gotta be nice.
That's it. But the woman from the stairs, terrifying. Kids don't be lying about that shit. There's no reason. They don't know how to make that shit. Especially almost 3. He's probably 2.5, 3 years old. He ain't making that shit up. Take that shit 100% serious. If your kids ever come to you and say they see some shit, take that shit serious. All right. So I'm going to do 2 scary stories since hers was kind of longer. It'll kind of add up to the same shit. But this one was submitted to Reddit True Scary Stories. Prudent Rand 5567. Dyslexia almost got me. Titled The Lizard Man. The Lizard Man. And if you know me, you know I believe in lizard people. So this shit is, I was intrigued.
Lizard people are creepy.
Lizard reptilians are real. Just so you know, conspiracy corner time.
They look freaky.
But okay, the Lizard Man. Growing up, I was very close to my cousins. Although we aren't related by blood, I visited them often, and I still do. For context, my cousins used to live with their grandparents, and one of them still does. Their grandparents have a large house in Chandler, Arizona, located in a cul-de-sac. The house has 2 stories, 3 bedrooms, and a large staircase. The story I'm about to share takes place when I was around 5 years old and my cousin was about 6. The adults were in the living room while my cousin and I were playing with Hot Wheels at the bottom of the stairs. At some point, I looked up at the top of the stairs and I saw a tall man in a frog or lizard costume with blacked out eyes and an open mouth. He was standing in front of an open door with the light off. As a child, this obviously terrified me, and I remember freezing in place, unable to move or speak. All I could do was start crying. After a couple minutes, my cousin noticed that I was crying and staring at something. So he looked up too and had the same reaction. He grabbed my hand and we both ran to the living room to tell the adults that we had seen, quote unquote, the Lizard Man. Naturally, they brushed it off and told my brother to go check it out with us, so we'd quote unquote just shut up. He was understandably annoyed, but agreed to take us upstairs. When we reached the top of the stairs, the door the creature had been standing in front of was now closed, with a teddy bear hanging from the doorknob. My brother then asked, "Where did you see it?" I pointed at the now closed door. He opened it, turned on the light, and walked in. After a moment or two, he said, "Nothing's there," and walked back downstairs. Now, I know this isn't the scariest story, but it has always bothered my cousin and me about what we saw that day. I've often wondered if somebody else had a similar story, if anybody has seen anything like it. Since that day, I have never seen it again, but it still gives me chills to talk about it because of how odd it was. Let's just say I don't go upstairs alone.
I don't like it.
Could you imagine just sitting there playing poof, look up and you see a lizard person with blackout eyes and his mouth open just staring at you at the top of the stairs?
No.
And then the teddy bear is what scared the shit out of me. Why is there a teddy bear hanging on the door? And two, why did they not check the attic? You know what I mean? Unless they don't have an attic, but even then, most places have a little storage spot up top.
Yeah,
Even if
most
it's a small
definitely.
thing. Like, check your attics, listen to your kids, avoid reptilian people.
And also check your trunks.
Just avoid stairs if you can. I found out a lot of people it's stairs. You know? Woman of the staircase, a reptile on a staircase, lady of the staircase.
I hate stairs.
And it's not just because of the physical actions. Like, stairs suck. It's just not fun. You'll fall down them, you have to climb up them. There's ghosts that sit on the top of them and make you not want to come up even more.
My slides get stuck on the stairs and then.
And then you have to go all the way down and pick them back up.
Yep.
I'm lazy. I'll let them go down. That's why Crocs are always in sports mode. Never
Go
slipping.
get me some.
Yeah, I know. Such is life. Well, hopefully we entertained y'all enough. 3 stories. We'll probably have a couple bit more every Wednesday. Headlines, all kinds of crazy different type of shit. But let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, do all the crazy shit. Tell your moms, tell your mama's mama, tell your baby mama, tell your sister, your brother, all them motherfuckers. Your grandma, man. We'll spark up with her. Them too.